Oh, hello. Good morning, and welcome to Brunch with Egnards. Dan, if you're not first, you're last. Look into our tags on Discord. Good morning, everybody. Xander, we are fully intending to do egg draws this week. In fact, we already have a picture picked out for that for later today. So we're going to try to get through everything so that we don't miss egg draws today. It is a favorite segment of mine. But, when we started Brunch, it was just me with my game screen and my camera in the corner, and it was very rough, and we kind of just did what we want. There weren't any segments, and now we have segments. Now we have things to do. We have expectations. So that kind of means that as there are more segments that we do, we can't do them all every brunch, right? That's kind of what happens. Kevlock, you gave me a good laugh before I actually hit the go button with yours. Xander's gave me a hearty chuckle. But as an educator and as someone who has to sit through music classes with kids, God, they sound awful. They really do. Parents, stop lying to your kids. It's okay to tell them, no, you sound bad, but don't worry, you'll be better if you keep practicing. Oh, I do have to close the door so I don't get yelled at. There we go. We have expectations. We do. We have a lot to do today, so we're going to just kind of jump right into it. We have the raid. Now, the good news is I saw the raid pop yesterday, and I said to myself, hey, you know what? I am going to do the shitty run first. And I did the shitty run off screen. I did the shitty run yesterday so that I don't have to waste an hour doing the shitty run today. But I did get it in 2 tries last night, so that was like a little bit of an irony. Yeah. So interestingly, about the Animal Crossing, yes, I bought my wife a Switch yesterday. We were at a celebration of life for my grandmother who passed away like 4 months ago, and my brother was in town. My sister was all my siblings were in town, and we were talking. And my sister was talking about the Switch 2, and my wife was like super excited about the new Animal Crossing game that's supposedly coming out. So I decided to buy her the Switch 2, and it came within 3 hours, which was ridiculous. And I also bought her Animal Crossing, but I didn't realize that when I had a Switch, I had bought the virtual version of Animal Crossing. So I already had Animal Crossing that I could download. So now today, I have to return Animal Crossing because apparently we already have Animal Crossing. You know, the thing about SNL, I don't know if you watch SNL religiously. My wife and I, we watch it. There are a lot of really shitty sketches that suck. And there's always been a lot of shitty sketches that suck. And anyone who tells you about the golden age of SNL is lying to you, because there's always been a lot of really shitty sketches. And there's also a lot of really, really funny sketches too, right? Like, last week's episode was pretty funny. I don't remember who was on, but it was pretty funny. The Sabrina Carpenter episode, it was pretty fun. Like, every once in a while you get some really good sketches. And that's kind of like, yeah, you're right. It's kind of like Brunch. Every once in a while I'm just talking out my ass. But then sometimes I say something hilarious and and it catches fire. The good ones end up on, yeah, most of them end up on YouTube. Right? Most of them end up on YouTube. I know. I logged in today. I logged in today and I said to myself, I need to get rid of this counter because users are going to get mad at me. And I'm not even paying attention to this run because I should have used this already. But Moonborn hasn't set me up a mortgage balance calculator yet. So I'm waiting for him to set that up for us. So blame Moonborn. Look, I paid his Vig. Moonborn was like, the fast pass for the month is $100. And I know that he doesn't like when I send him money, but I sent him $100. So I'm just patiently waiting at this point. Well, I'm in the middle of a run. You got to give me a second. Let's see. You know, Xander, I've always actually hated Weekend Update. It is my least favorite segment of SNL. I don't particularly enjoy it at all. Did I get my spot filled? I did. I did get my spot filled. We brought in somebody that I am. Oh, see, I could use more of these. All right, user. What were? Oh, actually, I have to switch my mods over with hot utils now anyway. So we can do that while I'm switching my mods over with hot utils. User has actually put his support behind Shadow for Whale Advocate. We're just waiting for Sin to weigh in. He would be the last whale vote to determine who the advocate is. All right, this is all loading. Hey, Asad, how's it going? I appreciate it, man. You know, there was a period where we got a lot of negative publicity and a lot of negative press. You know, the CG shell thing, but I think it's all kind of settled down, and now all of the good ones are here and saying, "Hey, we're here for you, man." But I 100% appreciate all good stuff coming my way. Yeah, listen, I think that political satire can be really funny, but when it comes to Weekend Update, I feel like they overuse characters, and the characters they use are always exactly the same. And I get really frustrated, and I get really, really annoyed. Only the other CG shills stayed. All right, that is loaded up. We can pop into the store now and we can play. Maybe we should do a whole intro segment called Spend Users Money. Get like a little jingle. Egnards is really poor. He's an educator. He's got a poverty meter. Let's see. Web store. All right. We will buy that because why not, right? PayPal. Oh, no, I don't want to use PayPal. I want to use Apple Pay. Buy with Apple Pay. Moonborn does have too much backlog. You don't understand how many different projects we have in the Moonborn repertoire, like all of the things that he has to do. Where are my video elements? Backgrounds, widgets. Edit in Notepad. What is today? Today is the 9th. So we are going to go to the 9th. We are going to save that. Here we go. We have to bring the game back over here. Background toppers. And no, not the toppers. Where are they? Alerts, right? Alerts. There you go, user. We spent your money. We spent daddy's money. And going back to the raid. How it started. That's, you know what? Actually, when it comes to new segments, I would like more segments because I like the idea of choosing different segments each week and it not always being the same. So I do enjoy the idea of that being the thing that we do here. So I think that spend users' money is a great segment idea. I don't actually even know if I'm using the right mods. I think I ran my Keller and Beck mods with hot utils, but I could be wrong. Do that. We're gonna hit you. We should be. What? Seriously? All right, whatever. As long as we got him. The wheel of morality. Turn, turn, turn. Tell us the lesson that we should learn. Can we just, can we just appreciate that I came up with that on the cuff, like, or off the cuff rather, and I had no expectation of doing that, and I was able to come up with something that was like semi-okay. So my Keller and Beck run usually goes pretty smoothly because I don't use Jedi Master Mace Windu anymore. I'm gonna save that. So we're saving the middle special so we don't go into a weird loop here. Yeah, see, that's the weird loop that we're gonna get into, which is I can't seem to get Keller in to do his thing right after old lady does her thing, so we're gonna have to like sit here and wait. Just kind of annoying. It would be nice if I had two guys. There we go. I don't mind the Keller and Beck run, but I don't do a Jedi Master Mace Windu run because I don't need to do a Jedi Master Mace Windu run. Speaking of next level, I've had multiple people send me mock-ups of an Egnards ugly Christmas sweater. So we're hoping to come up with something that I can wear. I will take you out, right? Because I do love this grandma. Like, she just hits so hard. It's really fun in the raid to do. That was silly of me. There we go. Hey, Aatrox, how's it going? Doing good. It's, you know, it's brunch day. I love brunch day. Brunch is my favorite time of the week, honestly. I look forward to it every single week. And this is a nice one, sort of, because we're not going to a movie today. We actually went to a movie last night and we walked out. It is the first time I've ever walked out of a movie, ever in my life. And you guys know how often we go to the movies. About 45 minutes in, we looked at each other and we were like, this is a waste of our time. We're not going to a movie today. We are going to my mother-in-law's because it's her birthday. Or it was her birthday last week, but we did not get to celebrate it last week. But we have a little bit more leeway on time because of that. All right, we are running Bad Batch now, which means we should be able to get through all of our segments. Oh, man. Coffee. It really hits the spot. what movie? So it's called Die My Love with Robert Pattinson and Jennifer Lawrence. It is not. I would not. I could not get into it. It was. There was actually two people that walked out before us, and I don't generally see people walk out of movies. It was bad. I no. It was. I cannot ever recommend it to anybody. All right. Reload the game again. We're going to do our Bad Batch run. I wish I could have all of my mods in one loadout. That would be super nice. Oh, I still have to get these, don't I? You. Oh my goodness. Okay. You know, I don't mind Robert Pattinson at all. Mickey 17, which came out maybe 6 months ago, maybe a little longer. I thought it was a very good movie. It was very clever. I thought it was interesting. I don't think that the acting in this movie is bad. Die My Love. I think the acting is fine. I have no problem with the acting. The movie just doesn't make any sense. And the way that I described it to my wife was it was kind of like a student film where like nobody gets it, but then the director is kind of like, you just don't understand my artistic vision. That's just what I felt while watching it, is that it just didn't make any sense. If you go next, right? Yes, so we can do that. His Batman is fine. It's just so long. Like, it's not a bad movie, but it's just so long. Don't want to do marked on you. Oh, that's gonna screw me up real bad. Oh, maybe it didn't. Okay. Kind of messed with things a little bit, but not as badly as I thought it was. You find the Conquest pirates without PK are a decent team for the raid. Looking at reducing them for my fifth, using them for your fifth run. I think they're okay without the Conquest pirates, without Maz. They don't really do enough for me without Maz. I feel like Maz made my life a lot easier when it comes to doing the runs. You know, I was running my Conquest pirates at like the R1, R3 level instead of the R5 level. But also, you know, maybe I just didn't get it. I don't like doing things over and over and over again. I think with Batman, I said this to my wife too, like, the movie is so long, and it's interesting movie, and then the last half hour of that movie is just them clearing up the story. And by that time, I just don't care anymore. And I have to pee. And so I'm sitting there for the last half hour watching them, like, shore up these story points, and I'm just sitting there doing the frickin' piss dance. Oh, shit, I didn't realize that wasn't the last one. I thought that that was the last one. Crap. That's what you get when you're not paying attention. I don't know. I don't hate him as an actor. I'll see. I mean, I'll mostly see anything. And like I said, that Die My Love movie is the first movie I've ever walked out of. So, you know, it is what it is. And I've seen some pretty terrible movies. Night Swim last year. Night Swim was bad. A Nolan movie. It's funny because we rewatched Jaws last year too because of the 50th anniversary. And at the beginning of, or at the end of Jaws, it's kind of like, okay, done. And I was saying, like, movies these days, they don't do that, right? They have to have this 20-minute conclusion after everything's done. And I really appreciated that watching Jaws again and being like, oh, all of it's over and it's just done. We don't need to explain every little bit. It's just over. There's no money because we pay for the AMC A-list. So like we didn't pay for the tickets. We paid our $25 a month each, but we see 5 movies a month. So it's not worth yelling at them about. Walked in. I don't remember if I saw Inception in theaters or not. Like, I've seen it, but I don't remember if I went to the theater or not. It was a decent enough movie. I didn't hate it. All right, we are loading our mods back to our regular mods, which means we don't have to do any more mod switching today, which is really nice. We're just letting that load up. And then we have really just the pirate run to do. My favorite so bad it was enjoyable movies. Larry, I gotta tell you, like, Street Fighter is my favorite movie of all times. It is just so campy and stupid, and I feel like a lot of dumb movies have come out like that in the last couple of years. Um, I don't think Bullet Train is a bad movie, but like it's that same vein of just like stupid, like silliness. Um, there was another. What was that one with Ryan Reynolds? Fall Guy, I think it was. Um, that one was very funny. The dog one with the dog comedy, I don't think that one was very good. I think I might have screwed something up here because I still have my Maz run. Because normally, oh no, because I guess my pirates take the place of that now, so I don't really even need to do a Maz run. I do switch mods for raids, but I will tell you that if maybe it was Free Guy Shadow. Yeah, the one where like he's an NPC. I do switch mods for the raid. I will tell you right now that if I did not have hot utils, I would not switch mods for the raid. Mod switching in-game is one of the most terrible things to do. And I have been so adamant about CG fixing that over the years. This is fine. I have found that with these 3, we can semi-reliably get like 2 point some odd million, even with a Jedi dying. So we don't care about that Jedi. They really need to switch mod switching. Like, they need to fix that. It's so unenjoyable for anyone that is not paying for hot utils. And they don't make any money from hot utils, so I have no idea why. Fioli, I've said the same thing. I do think that we should be able to have a second set of mods on characters, raid mods, and those would just be like your PvE versus PvP mods, and you could have the same ones on between the two game modes. I think it would be a very nice quality of life thing. Don't really need to use the ult, but it's fun to watch. If I had Brutus at R9, I could probably max this tier, but it's just it's not worth doing for me. Because I get enough, right? Like I overmax what I need from my guild. We get to this fun little part where we get to hit him once each, and then he kills everybody. Then we get our 14.5, and we can all go home. Beautiful. Let's see if we found anything nice today in this area. 1, 2, guild shipments. We're just, my MK6s, we're at this point just buying arrow magnifiers. Mod stuff. Where is mod stuff? I wish I could buy more mod stuff with MK1. Though that'll probably change in the future. No, we're not going to buy that. Now that my MK1 will be useful again. Right now, Shadow, is it good to hoard for the upcoming update? I think that if it is a currency you don't currently use often, that yes, it does make sense to hoard. Am I going to? Probably not, because I'm dumb sometimes. But I do think it is smart to try to stay right under the raid cap because of the new change. Also, speaking of something none of you asked me for today, today is TW Hero Day, except we are facing a major TW guild, so we all just decided to take the day off, and we have been having fun with placing silly teams. My favorite team was my team that I placed here. My Star Killer team is Bane, Ezra, Star Killer, Pirate Captain Jude Law, and Padawan Sabine Wren. Technically, it is an accurate Star Killer team. So we were just having fun placing silly things because there was no chance in hell we were winning. I think I also placed an episode 1 team somewhere. Let's see if I can find it. Gas with all dark side clones. I think I did LV with all light side clones. Greedo and his 4 Hans. Oh, here's my episode 1 team, which is Padme, Qui-Gon, Padawan Obi-Wan, C-3PO, and Jar Jar. So it was a fun TW. I got to take the day off. It was nice. All right. Let's see what's going on in Conquest. Let's see if I actually need anything, like what battles I need to focus on today for Conquest. I would like to get this up a little bit more. So it looks like I need some day 4 battles, or sector 4 battles. So what time is it? We are at 36 for Conquest. Let's burn through this bitch. Have any of them been surprisingly effective? No. No. They were all very surprisingly ineffective. Yes, I would kill for a Senator team. I am telling you. Bail Organa. I've joked, right? We got Gungans into the game. We got Jar Jar into the game. I want to get Dexter Jetster into the game. I have joked about those things for a while. Clone 99. I've joked about that for a while. But the true bastardization of characters who deserve to be in this game, who are not in this game, Bail fucking Organa. Why is Bail Organa not in this game? Give me a goddamn Senator team with Bail Organa. Like, holy shit, why is that not here? Don't get me angry. Shadow, I gotta link you up with, like, one of the Conquest guys and just have them run your Conquest. You're gonna kill me, but I've only actually seen a season and a half of the Phoenix show, Rebels. There's just so much Star Wars, and I try really hard. I am actually hoping, so now we got my wife a Switch, and she's gonna be playing a lot more Animal Crossing, and I'm like, oh shit. Like, I can maybe watch more of the TV that I need to catch up on. Because there's just so much. And I've been having a hard time trying to catch up on it. And I've never really been that into the cartoon Star Wars. I finished Clone Wars. Clone Wars was good. Phoenix was getting alright. Like, Phoenix was fine. I haven't seen Tales of the Jedi. I haven't seen Tales of the Empire. I haven't seen Visions. I've never really cared for the cartoons as much. You guys are gonna fucking kill me. I haven't even finished Andor Season 2. And Andor Season 2 was great, but I just got busy. The Senators will just argue until the timer runs out. Listen, that's an accurate portrayal, right, of how politics work. And we won't go any further than that right now, but accurate portrayal. We'll do some sub goals, you know, like Scribe does sub goals for R9ing things. We'll do sub goals for watching the Star Wars cartoons. I know it's good, Shadow. I know it's good. I've heard so many good things about Andor. And I've seen 2/3 of it. But my wife was on a business trip. I watched 2/3 of it. And then she came back. And then I just didn't finish it. Because she was home and we were watching things together. $50, man. You're really selling yourself short. I'm telling you right now that in the high end, in the whale guilds, people are paying $500-$600 to get their conquests done. Like, think about the hours that you're spending to get it done. It is a lot of hours. It's all good stuff. It's all good stuff. I just haven't, I haven't had the time, and I do. And then I started watching Only Murders in the Building, so now that's taken up time too. Are you still being paid? Paid by who? By CG? I wish CG paid me. I wish. Yeah, Shadow, look, I just have a habit, right? And what I do is the second that I wake up in the morning, I just do my conquest right in the morning. Yeah, user, remember, you're newer to the game and conquest is fun to you. I've done so many conquests. I'm fucking over it. I'm so over it. Once you've proven that you can do a certain thing, it just becomes like, okay, why am I still doing this thing? Oh, no, I'm not a federal employee. I'm a state employee. So yes, I'm still getting paid. And honestly, I like being an educator, but it's really just it's the benefits that come with it that make it like such an amazing thing and reason that I keep that job. For Conquest, I always find silly things. I like to find silly things. Now, obviously, most Conquest guides come out before Conquest starts because it kind of needs to. But then you find like these stupid ways of doing things. Like for Disarm, I was running Jabba, Kursatan, Wrecker, Watt, and CX2. And it was just like a fun, stupid team. And I was able to get so many blinds and so many disarms in one battle. Oh my god, for me, it's just a health insurance user. You know, health insurance in the States is very widely dependent on where you go and who your employer is or who your private provider is. And there's just so many different levels of good health insurance versus bad health insurance. And the health insurance that my school district provides just happens to be very high quality for a very low cost. So, for example, my wife had an emergency appendectomy last year, right around this time of the year, actually. And she was in the hospital for a few days. She had everything done over the course of like a day. And the only bill that I paid was my $50 copay. You know, other people's insurances, that would be like a couple $1,000s. Where can I find guilds that have whales paying to do Conquest? Look, I don't know who's looking to have their Conquest done, but I know a few people that do Conquest for people that are in some of the much higher guilds. We're not going to get into the politics of the US right now, though. It is my least favorite topic at the moment. It's a very tricky and divisive topic at the moment. Let's use somebody who will do this faster. Gungans, right? Gungans can do this fast because these are separatists. I forgot about my Gungans. Yeah, I mean, I go to a pulmonologist and all these. Oh, wow. Okay, maybe Gungans fucking blow against this battle. Wow. Thought that this would be a much easier battle. Maybe talk about Japan politics. Where is Sin when we need him? V is a reliable. Hey, he did his Conquest this time, right? V did it. And it's funny because anytime he posts on Reddit that he did something, everybody's like, Egnards did it for you. And I didn't. I didn't do anything for him. I did nothing for him this Conquest. He did it. It's all him. Right, who can do this fast? These guys. Oh, Inquisitors. No, we don't want you. We don't care about you. What about you? There we go. Yeah, I have a friend. He was actually at my house a few days ago. A good buddy of mine. He had testicular cancer. It went into remission. Then it spread, and it was in his lymph nodes, and he just got done with treatments, and thankfully he's in remission again. But he has to go for annual scans, and he was telling me, that with his health insurance, he has to pay, like, I think he's saying $800 a month for his health insurance. And then on top of that, he has like a $5,000 deductible, which he hits in January because of everything that needs to be done. And it's just ridiculous. It's insane. Like, it's insane. Meanwhile, my insurance, I pay like $50 a pay period. So about $100 a month for myself and my wife. And if I left my school job, and I don't really need the money for my school job, I have my business, but if I left my school job, we would have to take her employer's health insurance, and her employer's health insurance would cost us like 5 times more. So it's a really weird, catchy situation where I wish I could do it, but I can't leave the job because we need that insurance. Nothing's killing these guys as fast as I want to. What about rebels? Throw Han in there. And that's how we end up with vigilantes. That is how we end up with vigilante justice. Man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. See, destiny ends with me saving you. All that matters, taking matters into my own hands. Soon I'll control everything. I need something that's gonna do this faster. Let's see. What about you guys? Can you guys do this faster? This is like my least favorite. I mean, I know I can sim it. Obviously, I sim this 9 times out of 10. I just don't sim it for brunch. This is my least favorite sector to have to do. You know what's funny, Daniel? I don't even look at those episode quests at all. I know people are a little annoyed about it. Obviously, you got a 4x GC, so like how that shifts over for most people, it should be a net benefit overall, but I don't know. I don't even look at my episode quests. For the most part, they just get done. It is funny though, right, that they like don't really... They don't think about every piece of the puzzle when they're changing over a system. They think of a few pieces and they go, no, it's fine. Arctic, 10 years ago, my mom was in the hospital. She had polycythemia vera, which is a blood cancer. And it was a very, like, it was like a 12-week overall thing. And I won't bore you with the story of the hospital stay, but after she was discharged and then she died like 24 hours later because of some bullshit, my brother requested the files, like the invoicing files, to give to a lawyer. And they were charging $100 per Tylenol. Not per application of Tylenol. $100 per Tylenol. Just think about that. You've never been to the New Jersey DMV. The New Jersey DMV, I was very impressed. When I moved from New York to New Jersey and I went to the DMV, I was like, oh, damn, this is running much smoother. I had to change over like 8 different types of paperwork for New Jersey, and I was like, this is going to take all day. It took me an hour. I was impressed. Peak Reddit, peak Egnards privilege. Yeah, I mean, it is. I'll look tomorrow because there will be, for the most part, you do finish 90% of quests just playing the game. But then they have stupid ones. They'll be like, win with Qui-Gon in the team fighting separatists. Why? Yeah, one more battle to do, I think, right? One more. You guys remember when we invited Vance to come join me today on brunch? I was really hoping he'd change his mind and he would actually join us. Guess not. We need some Amplify Agony. It looks like I'm gonna lose this last battle because I just got too over the idea of like wanting to do this quickly. We're gonna fucking lose. All right. Yeah, look, I'm always on the last brunch of the month. I am always in that voice chat. I'm always in the brunch voice chat. I've forgotten to join it once or twice, but then you just have to message me, be like, "Hey, dude, you forgot to join the voice chat," and then I would join it. I need. Can you get a roster review before you have to go to church? C Square, didn't you want me to do a roster review in some kind of weird accent? You were like, I feel like I remember that from Thursday. And I didn't respond to it because I was in the middle of talking about something, and then I forgot to respond to it. We actually have a huge roster review queue. I don't know what it is right now, but right now everybody's like, review my roster now, please. And it's stressing me out because you want to like get things done as quickly as possible for as many people as possible. And I hate having people wait. Jets suck. Fuck the Jets. That's why he has to go to church to pray over the rosters. He would IO me a beer in the Nolan Bane voice. No, you know, it just goes in cycles, right? We'll pop this in before we go to roster reviews, but it goes in cycles because I'll have, when we first started doing roster reviews, my line was like 10 to 15 people long. And I finally got that down to where it's usually like 2 or 3 people and then I'm done. And now we have on our line right now for roster reviews, I have, what do we got? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8. That doesn't even count everybody actually, because Nath is not the last one. Then we have 9. We have 10. We have 11. There are 11 people in queue for roster review right now, and I got to get that shit going. It's a lot of talking. I know. Look, user, you send me, let's see, our store, right? So I'm going to need 30, what is this? Another 50, another 80, so like 200, send me like $500 and that's everything in the store. I'll buy it, man. Oh, now, well, actually we have to consider the 30% YouTube cut. But I don't need all of that stuff, you know? Like, your account needs all of that stuff. I don't need this ability ascension at all. I have all of the stuff for that ability ascension. I don't really need this Datacron thing because I have the Datacrons I need right now. I don't need Boba Fett Sign of Django. I don't need Jedi Knight Revan's Lightspeed bundle. I don't need any of these Lightspeed bundles. I already have them all at their levels. So it's all stuff I don't need. Slice a bundle. I don't need any of this shit. I have. Look at this. Look at all my injector cells. Chirotech. Look at my Chirotech. Like I don't need all that stuff. Zetas. I'm low on Zetas, but like I have all of the good Zetas in the game right now. Well, working towards journeys, I'm not doing anything different because I have all the journeys. The only thing different that I'm doing right now is I used to farm Darkside 9C for Electrium Conductors. I don't really see the value in that right now with the upcoming change, and I am going back to farming Chirotech. Because Chirotech will be a way for me to get Droid Brains. So I have been doing that in order that's the only change that I'm really doing right now. Other than that, there's no change that benefits me. All right. We have to get into reviews, right? And as always, before we do reviews, we of course have to we have to play the roster review song because that is everybody's favorite, right? So we are going to pop in here. We're going to change this over.
Roster reviews. Egnards is having a break and taking a roster reviews. Talking to me that what pack sex should sell to you. Ooh, to you. To you.
There we go. Roster review song means that it is time for. I wonder if Eggs' users tax right off. We get to play the song. It is my favorite, right? And we're going to pop into our reviews. So let us swing over to Discord real quick. I'm going to scroll up to Nox. I don't know if Nox is here or not. I don't think I saw him yet, but some of you have names that are completely different on Reddit versus, or on Discord versus YouTube. It is 59. We're going to say 60. We're going to say it is 100000. They actually, Mythic, I will answer that right now. I don't know off the top of my head, but they actually told us in the post what the cost in MK2s would be. If you go back to that post, it will tell you. And in order to, you know, with the bronzium transistors and the chromium transistors for the current pricings, I think that those were priced a certain way to kind of lead you against getting those things and saying, hey, you can buy these, but they're dumb. That doesn't look to be the case with their step downs. Should I spend my MK3 ASAP on them before update, or is it going to be more worth it to wait? I think it's going to be more worth it to wait, but you'll have to look at the post itself. Again, the post does tell you. I do think it is worth keeping your raid currencies towards the max for when that change happens. I believe I'm going to be much less worried about Electrium Conductors. But now, getting into our reviews for the day, let's check out Nox's account. You don't like the change. You know, here's the deal. If you don't like the change, I actually think that it is going to have to change how mid-game accounts prioritize things. And they won't be able to prioritize as broadly as they're able to right now. but I do believe that it'll be an overall better change for them. And I think it'll take a month or two to realize that. But I do feel like most people will be able to say, hey, I'm actually moving much quicker through the projects. I just have to be more um, cognizant of how I do that spending. But now we're going to change the time over to 101 because we have to get this review done. Nox, top 10, depends on push, trying for top 5, all Leviathans, assault battles, all CT3 apart from Secrets and Shadows, which is CT1, CT2. Duel of the Fates is 0, which is literally killing me. Peridia Patrol is 0. Shadow, take it easy, man. Get some rest. I know, what is it? It's like 6 a.m. for you and you've been up. Like, chill, dude. What are you currently working on? Immediate plan is getting Profundity done. Tentative farming plan is Profundity, SK, then maybe Balin, but not really sure. I mostly just need validation this plan makes sense, or if you think it should be changed. I'm varying levels of close to Ray, SLKR, and LV if you think those should be higher than the various teams. Are you dead set? Not right now, a bit unsure. How highly do you value efficiency versus fun? Fun every day. Are there any favorite characters you want to prioritize? No, there's no favorite characters. Shards for Proving Grounds. We're not super close to anything important. We're at 315 for Trench and 175 for Malicos. I am going to say that this account is about 8 million, right? So let's pop it up on the screen. Let's see. Oh my God, 11 million. Holy fucking tits. My man, Nox, you have no investment in Duel of the Fates at 11 million. That makes me want to go into a corner and cry. Like, seriously makes me want to sit in a corner and weep for a full 5 minutes. I don't like to roast accounts. I hate doing it. I think everybody's account is personal to them. But I think there are certain fundamental things that every account needs to have. And that is one of them. Right? I just so strongly think that Duel of the Fates is just that important. He just got this account. So this is a secondary account. This is an account that was given to him, something like that. Get your Duel of the Fates in there. Look at the GAC. Yeah, I haven't even looked at his account yet. I only see what you guys are seeing right now. Man. GAC. Okay. So somebody gave this account to you. You haven't played in a very long time, or you just haven't played but like Duel of the Fates is so goddamn important. Doing about 1 million in the raid. So if this was just given to you, I can presume it's maybe an alt account, right? This is an account that you're just kind of doing for fun. On top of a regular account, maybe. Hello, Hollow Table Heroes. I can't do it as well as Bit Dynasty does. He is such a beautiful, beautiful man. And you did unlock Lord Vader, right? Because in here, well, this is from 1031 and it's now 11:9. So in this week, you've unlocked Lord Vader. But here you said you're close. So where does it say that? Not right now. No, it doesn't say. Could have swore it said something about being close to Rey, Lord Vader. Top 10, Nox, immediate plans. Did I just imagine that? Is he fucking with me? Must be fucking with me. I don't know. All right, let's see. Let's check this out. Ships. We have. Am I? Malicos is at one. This doesn't make sense. Because you have Leviathan. But Oh, Malicos. All right, I'm thinking of Malleus. All right, that's why I'm screwed up here. And I was like, this doesn't make sense at all. Holy shit! Wow. Uh, damn, that was a crazy moment. Okay, so we have Leviathan. We don't have Profundity yet. No, it's the right ally code. I was just thinking of a different character, and that really screwed with me and messed me up a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 GLs. Okay, what is your guild doing? Your guild does not really. Not really doing much with the raid. Tools, gear tracker. Let's check this out. Profundity's fairly close. Okay. Afra, I think, is going to get some new viability with this new stuff, but you're not there yet with her, so. And you'll have plenty of time if you're not really spending on it, right? Because you'll have to wait for it to go through the era system first. Bo-Katan, we don't have Jar Jar. We don't have Ahsoka. Man, then you need to find a new guild because raid reports are so fundamentally important. We're pretty far from Balin, pretty far from Jedi Master, pretty far from Hondo. Okay. Let's check out our Duel of the Fates. This is disgusting. Like this is offensive to me that these guys are not even starred up at all. And Peel Remnant. Battle for Naboo. We don't even have these guys unlocked. Holy tits. Leave your guild on your bingo card. Look, here's the thing. This is an account, right? You're here for fun. You're playing for fun. Whether it is an alt account, whether it is not an alt account, I don't know. It does seem to be an account that maybe you just got. Maybe you're retiring an old account because you got this account. I have no idea. But when you're playing an account for fun, it's very hard for me to say, hey, yeah, you should do this or you should not do this because, like, you know, what's fun and what's efficient are very, very different things. Star Killer, where are we on Star Killer? Okay. All right, so we have them all geared up. Profundity, yes. I do think you should go for Profundity. My thought is always that you should always be farming something in fleets. And the best time to go for a new GL fleet is when you don't need it. Right? And because you have Leviathan, it means that you don't have to 7-star Profundity. You can 5-star it and then just let it sit and just do it free over time. So definitely go for Profundity. Star Killer, I definitely think if you're maxing Conquest, Star Killer is a great option right now, especially with the Stranger coming out. Even if you're planning to get the Stranger in the 4 to 5 month time frame, I still think that Star Killer and the Stranger are going to be insane. So it is a really good farm to go for. Balin is a character that I personally enjoy. I really love the team, but I think he's fairly low priority. So if you're talking from a fun perspective, he's fun. And you'll also get the Great Mothers team out of that. And the Great Mothers team is also very fun, right? But when you come to Daddy Egnards, Daddy Egnards can only talk about efficiency. And I strongly, strongly, strongly believe, Shadow, go to sleep. I strongly, strongly, strongly believe that Duel of the Fates is something that you cannot ignore. You cannot ignore Duel of the Fates. It is insane to ignore Duel of the Fates. I feel like getting Profundity to unlock is your first priority. getting Duel of the Fates, Master Qui-Gon, and Padawan Obi-Wan to 9, to Relic 9 should be your second priority right now. Because that is just free resources, and the return on that investment is relatively quick within the time frame of this game. Do Star Killer after that. Right, because I know you have to, there's like Cantina stuff. Duel of the Fates, Master Qui-Gon, and Padawan Obi-Wan are both Cantina farms, and you want to get them up really fast, so it kind of makes it hard to do other things to relics. After Star Killer, I really strongly think from an efficiency standpoint, right now, because of the new event, Ahsoka makes way more sense than Balin. Because you'll get the Imperial Remnant event, and you'll get the Ahsoka event after that as well. So I think there is a really strong point for going for Ahsoka versus Balin. But if you're doing Balin for fun, you know, I can't stop you from doing that, right? Like, that's for fun. But I feel like a lot of people don't understand that if you want to do things for fun, building out your resource acquisition is the best way to more quickly do fun things. Because yeah, I mean, and listen, if you're if you have Leviathan, you don't need to get it. You don't have to spend those 27,000 crystals, right? When a new fleet comes out, you generally do want to get it up fairly quickly. But right now you have the stronger ship, so it doesn't feel like you have to do that. In terms of everything else, I think that, you know, if you slot Duel of the Fates after Profundity, my only argument again is Ahsoka over Balin. But otherwise, I think you're fine. You know, especially for a fun account. It's really hard for me to tell a fun account to do anything because a fun account is here to have fun. But that's what I would say with this account. We're going to move on to SirdinGrogu. SirdinGrogu, oh, we're getting into November, which means we're not far behind now. We're actually getting to a point where we are getting caught up on our days. So that is awesome. We're going to just wait till that hits 114. And Relic 9. I am convinced, man, that Relic 9 Clone Wars Chewie, he's going to get an Omicron. If he does not get an Omicron for the anniversary, they have failed. They have failed if he does not get an Omicron. All right, SirdinGrogu. Hello there, Egnards. Good sir. Please, could you roster RV my roster? Roster review. Wouldn't it be RR, like railroad? I am connected to your current live transmission. I am Leia Grogu. I don't know if you're here today, Leia Grogu. I think you were when you posted this. Oh, you are here. ASOT, right? ASOT at YouTube. Please, really appreciate and love your content. All right, got it. Perfect. I think I saw you before. Top 20, depending on your push, trying for top 10. Every assault battle except for the final fight where you need Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker. So all of your assault battles are CT3 except for Ground War. And you don't have Jedi Knight Luke, I'm assuming. What are you currently working on? GL Hondo, tentative farming plan, Master Windy. Are you dead set? Yes, because I'm close to Hondo. High equilibrium between efficiency and fun. Are there any favorite characters you want to prioritize, even though it's probably not smart? Yes, Leia. Shards for important PGs. I have every Conquest unit unlocked. That is insane to me because you don't have Leia. I'm assuming you don't have Jedi Knight Luke, which means you don't have JML and you don't have Jabba. But you have all the Conquest units. This is I'm thinking that this is probably going to be around that 11 million mark as well. Let's pull it up. Perfect. Right on the mark. 11.2 million. Let's see what we got here. Honey Badgers don't give a shit. 638. 638 Guild is doing 1 under max on the raid. What are you doing on the raid? You're doing 4 million. Your guild really wants you to be doing about 7.5 million. So you probably, I'm surprised they let you in, honestly, because you're new in the guild. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and only 3 G. This is insane. You've got to be so close to like all these different GL. Like you have to be like right on top of their dicks right now. Okay, our ships. We have Profundity, we have Executor. Okay, no Leviathan, but you have to have Fury class, right? Because you have all the Conquest characters. I just want to confirm. I hate, like, I say this every time. It's so insane to me. It's even more insane to me to have Padawan Obi-Wan at Relic 8 and to stop at Relic 8 on these two guys. Get these guys to Relic 9. Master Qui-Gon and Padawan Obi-Wan sitting at Relic 8 is one of the most unhinged things that I've ever seen on a roster. Please, please, please bring those bad boys to R9. Because you said every assault battle except for the final fight where you need Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker, so that's not true, right? Because you don't have Duel of the Fates up there. You have Ahsoka at R9, which means that you have these guys. Where are they? You have these guys at least R7, right? R7, they can stay at R7 for right now. I really think they should go to R9, but they can stay at R7 for right now. You have a lot of other things that need to get done, but Duel of the Fates needs to happen. Let's check this out. Rey, Jedi Knight Luke. Okay. Yeah. I would very much prioritize getting Jedi Knight Luke because it's so easy. My goodness. You're actually further away from a lot of these GL than I expected. That's... Send them my way because that person is a dummy. Hey, Solo Straight, I saw you say hi before. I apologize. I get locked in when we're doing reviews. No, Dan, the new graphic just for user is going to be my mortgage principal. We're doing that. I'm very significantly surprised by how far away we are from a lot of these GL. So obviously finish Hondo, right? That's fine because you're so close to that. I don't think Jedi Master Mace Windu is the right way to go at all. I think he's kind of he doesn't really do much outside of the raid, and by the time you get him, I just feel like it's not going to be worth doing that. Let's see what you're doing with the raid. No, I keep hitting the wrong thing. Order 66, true. Scorch, you have this team. Tarkin. Honestly, man, with where you are in your raid and everything, I would bring, because you're so close. It's not like you're going from, I don't know if I would tell people to go from 0 now to do this, but because you're already so close, I would R9 Tarkin. I would R9 Scorch. I would call it a day on the raid because that's 3.6 million on top of what you're already doing on the raid. That'll put you around where your guild needs you to be. And it'll give you all of the extra MK3 from the raid itself. I would R9 those two. I would finish R9ing your Duel of the Fate bros, right? And you're also going to have the Hondo team, so that's going to add to your raid scores as well. So I'd R9 the Duel of the Fate bros. Is Banff good for Rote? Yeah, if you get the Omicron, it's amazing for Rote. Honestly, he really is. And that's the only place that I really use my Jedi Master Mace Windu team. With the Omicron, they're very easily autoable. And being at 11 million, not having Malik at 7 stars yet is kind of crazy too. Will my first R10 be all of the Gungans? Not all of the Gungans, but my first R10 will be Jar Jar. My first R10 will 100% be Jar Jar. It will be. I don't know how long it's going to take me. I don't know if it's going to be a week. I don't know if it's going to be like a month. I have no idea how long it's going to take, but he will be my first R9 or R10. This is insane to me, some of this stuff. All right. So listen, here's what you need to do. You need to R9 your Tarkin and your Scorch because they're pretty close anyway. You might as well do it. You need to R9 your Duel of the Fate Bros. It needs to happen. You need to finish Hondo. That's fine. Do it. Finish Hondo. That's great. After you finish Hondo, you need to unlock Jedi Knight Luke. You need to get Leia and Jabba, right? You need to get Leia, Jabba. Get both of them. I think after that, normally I tell people do the whole square, like Leia, Jabba, JML, Profundity. I don't actually even think that that's the right pace for you right now. I would do Leia, Jabba, and then I'd really full force yourself into Leviathan. And then I'd go back for JML. That's how I would do this. You have to play catch up. You're in catch up time right now. And you need to get all of that shit done. And you need to work on your return on investment. And there's a lot of fun teams in there, right? Leia is in there, super fun. Jabba, super fun. Jedi Knight Luke, he's got a really cool playstyle. I love characters that have weird playstyles, which makes him, to me, a very, very fun character to kind of play with and run, especially even as a leader. It is crazy to me how few GL you have at this specific level in the game. And I think we need to use this like beginning of the era cycle where eras are different and there's legacy versus era to kind of get caught up on all of the backlog of stuff. That is how I would do it. That is the order that I would do it in. Greetings from work. Are mandarins an acceptable brunch food? Fuck yeah, they are. Why not? Maybe with C, Ray, and Kylo, man, we need to get you on the review docket right now and tell you where to go. Remember, guys, I wish like you drawing out like the return on like have fun. I want everyone to have fun, but the return on investment of certain things allows you to have more fun by doing things quicker. Do we think R10 will increase the max GP past 20 million and make LSGO possible? The reason LSGO is not possible is literally because of fleets, right? It has to do because you can only deploy fleets to fleets in LSGO. So it's a very small subsection of characters that will increase that. So I don't know how far away that is specifically, but remember, only the fleets themselves will increase that specific thing. And yes, it is so silly that that still isn't doable. Will I speedrun Calvin for Jar Jar? I probably will get it before Calvin because he is, I believe, fully free to play. I don't care how long it takes me. Jar Jar will be R10. If user wants to send me $1 bajillion to do all of the Gungans to R10, I'll do it, but I think he will actually yell at me. He still gives me shit about my Hoth Soldier at Relic 9, even though it was for a reason. So that's his thing. But our R10 Jar Jar definitely, R10 Marin definitely. Okay. Let's see. We're going to move on. We have Man. Man is next. A computer virus. Man is... Oh, it's 125 perfectly. Excellent. All right, so we got Man. Usually get first. Rebel Roundup. Okay. Interesting with the assault battles. Duel of the Fates is R7, so that's not bad. One day I'll have an R9 LV, but there's so much other stuff that's more important right now. I do want an R9 Lord Vader. What are you currently working on? Focusing on Peridia Patrol. Then I'll finish off JML and go for Great Mothers, Starkiller, Balin next, Leia, Jabba in the future. Are you dead set? Not really sure. Value, efficiency versus fun, 50-50. Are there any favorite characters? Leia. It's always interesting to me how these reviews come in because the reviews tend to follow a pattern and like all of the reviews in a particular day are very similar. And then the next week they'll be different, but then very similar to each other. in what each review needs or wants. And that's kind of what I'm seeing today, is that there is a lot of, hey, I want to have fun. I have not found that Clever Ruse makes my raid runs worse. I know that technically it does, but I haven't found any issue with it personally. All right, let's see. With all of this, I'm going to say that this is around 7 million. 5 million, so a little bit earlier, which is actually better. It seems like the account itself is fairly efficient. We are getting first every day. Rank 2 using Executor, that's nice. 373 guild, doing about, you need about 1 million in the raid. You are doing roughly 1 million in the raid, so you're right about where your guild needs you to be in the raid. We have 1 GL, Jedi Knight Luke, so we'll be going for JML soon. What I want for Christmas is a list of TB teams that are not in platoons for each fight, so I know what to farm to R9 as a written guide. Man, AF1, that's actually a fucking amazing idea. I'm working on it. That sound, I know you, I think you were yelling at me about like a written guide, but that is an amazing, amazing idea. I'm working on that. I love that. That's a great idea. 3K to go, and then Egg will be forced to do his 2 push-ups. Love it. I love that you just push for the push-ups. Ships. Okay. All right, we're pretty good. I just want to look at some of these assault battles to see if there's anything we can shore up here. Troopers. No, so we're not going to do that with Imperial Troopers. Places of power. No, we should be good on place of power. Forest Moon, military might. Everything honestly looks where it should be based on where your account is right now. JML is very close, so yeah, you definitely better finish JML. Jabba the Hutt. The Jabba build. Okay. Leviathan. Well, that's of course what's going to happen, right, Bodhi? Leia. Balin, Great Mothers. Okay, so again, I'm going to stipulate this. Man. When somebody comes to me for a review and they're looking for efficiency fun, I don't know what's fun to you. So when I give a review and tell you which path to go, I am telling you what is efficient. And you have to decide whether you want to slot fun farms into that. And I'm remembering because M3 forgot to come in and tell me to take my pill today. I got to take my D pill. So I can only talk to you about what you should do from efficiency standpoint. You have to decide from there. You exist in my favorite part of the game, which is the part of the game where there are so many things that work together that that there's a lot of overlap, and it makes it easier to get each of those things. Great Mothers is a fun team because they're weird. They're also a Cantina heavy team, right? And I'm assuming you don't have them farmed up yet. You know, you got them a little bit farmed up. Morgan's not farmed up yet, right? And that takes a ton of time, effort, and energy. And it's going to severely slow you down for not much return. Balin is kind of in the same boat. I love the Balin team, and it works off of the Great Mothers, and I love them. They're awesome, but I don't fundamentally think that it gives you what you need for your account right now. Starkiller, I mean, I don't think you're getting Stranger in 3 months. So I don't know if it matters, but maybe if you do enough Conquest, you can get it in the 6-month period, in which case you have time to get Star Killer, right? Because the Star Killer Stranger team is going to be a really good one. I think that because you exist in this very specific portion of the game, it makes the most sense for you to do the JML Jabba Profundity Leia thing, right? That to me makes so much sense because you'll get the fun farm of Leia, you'll get another capital ship, and I know you're thinking like, but I already get number 1. The best time to farm a Galactic Legend ship is when you don't need it, because then you don't have to 7-star it and you can let it do its thing. So finish JML. I don't care if you get Jabba or Leia first. I think Jabba makes more sense, but if Leia's more fun for you, get Leia first, fine, whatever. But do the Jedi Master Luke, Jabba, Leia profundity thing. Star Killer is not really a disruptive farm, so if you want to slot Star Killer in there, that's fine. It'll be quick. But I really would recommend against slotting in Great Mothers and Balin, because I don't think you get enough, and I think that there's a lot of Cantina that goes on in there that is going to be wasteful for you. And I don't know, let me see if it's here on Discord, because I think it's only posted on Reddit. Advanced one, no. I'm going to pull up, what is that called? The 10th anniversary update. We're going to pull this up real quick. Okay, here are the Lightspeed bundles we're going to be getting, or the Lightspeed tokens. Captain Rex, Rebel, Ahsoka, Mace, Kelleran, Jedi, 8th, 9th, 5th, 7th. Nothing so far that jumps out at me as what would be useful for your specific use case. The Mandalorian, Cara, Ig, Grief. Okay. Nothing. I was wondering if there was maybe some Night Sister stuff or like tank stuff in there that would maybe help you with getting Great Mothers without having to waste all those Cantina energy. But I just think that those things should happen first for your account. Advanced, do you remember I did a roster review for you that told you specifically what you should do, and then you flipped out? Just remember that. The release is the 18th for the new update. Okay, so man, look, that's I think where you exist, and I think that that's what you should do. And slotting in Star Killer is fine, but I think you're shooting yourself in the foot first if you slot in Great Mothers right now. I just don't think it is a smart move. But again, there is what is to be said about efficiency versus fun, and if that's what's fun to you, then slot it in where you want. But you can't come to me and ask me to tell you what is fun for you, because I don't know what is fun for you, right? There is the one at the end of the episode track, but I don't know if Morgan or Great Mothers are applicable to it. But 2, I don't know if he finished the track already, so that may have already been used. But if the Night Sisters token hasn't already been used, Morgan would be the best use case for it if she's eligible for it, because it is a 16 energy node and she is further away from Great Mothers. So you'll get a much better return on that one over any other one. Why is Vanced unbanned? I don't. Can I ban the word Vanced on YouTube? That would be very funny if we ban that. Tell us what's fun. What's fun is starting hype trains. Vance, please. This is not. I look. You're welcome to be on the show. I told you. Bodhi, that's a great point, because next week is technically when updates usually happen. So that is a very good point. That maybe the update will be next week and Coliseum is on the 18th. Vance, I invited you to this brunch. So if you want to give your opinions on accounts, you are invited. I'll start a voice chat right now. You're welcome to pop in. I told you you could pop in. but you said you didn't want to, right? So look, people come to me for the advice, right? For a reason. We're gonna move on to Molten Flame, and Molten Flame gave me a little bit of context through Discord as well. So let's see. We're gonna go to Molten Flame down here on Discord. Molten Flame. What is the time? We're gonna say 1:37. Oh, right, AF1. Should you R9 Zuckuss and Pals? Here's the deal. Right now, we exist in a time with the era battle where you'll get a positive return on investment if you upgrade them before this particular era battle next week. So if you get Zuckuss and Forlom to R9, you will see a full return plus a positive on your R9 materials. You'll be spending 40 and 40. You'll get back 50 and 50 by the end. So yes, if you have the materials to do it, if you have those guys ready, then yes, it does make sense to do it right now. Let's see. We have the Molten Flame, top 20 of your fleet. Are you coordinating? Not right now, but I am consistently getting top 5, mostly 1. Assault battles, mostly in check. No Inquisitors yet. Lover Boys are at R7. Again, I hate this. I think everybody that doesn't have them at R9 has been conspiring against me to do roster reviews all in the same day. What are you currently working on? I just finished all the farms required for my guild at the moment, Raid and Zepho, and I'm a bit unsure as to what would be the best next step. My plan has been to go for Jabba, but I know that Leia would also be a good idea. I just got promoted to Chromium 2, straight from Bronzium, and she would help me maintain that position. So I am torn between the two. I already have fairly good mods, so it's not like I need Jabba to fix that, but more mod mats never hurts. After I do one, I will probably do BKM. My guild will probably request it by then, and maybe SK because of the Stranger. Are you dead set on continuing? I definitely want to get a GL next. Definitely feel like it's the right step. How highly do you value efficiency versus fun farms? I prioritize efficiency quite a lot. In my opinion, being efficient is fun. Are there any favorite characters you want to prioritize? I am planning to double refresh Bane each PG to unlock him, since he is just a sick tune altogether. Not sure if this really counts, since he's really good tune anyway, but whatever. Shards for important proving ground. Oh man, you have like no Bane shards. Damn, 20 of 330. That is going to be expensive. Yeah, Bodhi, I don't know how era battles are going to work going forward with new era battles. Now, Molten Flame did give me some additional context through text. So I am going to find my conversation with them here. Okay, here it is. A requested review should be coming up anytime soon. I wanted to send you a thought I was considering with the anniversary incoming. I'm curious for your input. For the longest time, I've been planning to get Jabba as my first GL, but I am now seeing that Leia might be a better option for the time being. My thought process is that if I went for Leia, I could use some of the Lightspeed tokens that they are about to give us, the Rebel, Empire, and R2 one, if I wait till January to upgrade some of the Leia requirements. I would probably use the Rebel one on Drogon and the Empire one on Scout. With those two out of the way, I wouldn't really need to shard anyone else and would just be relicking some. I would then finish Leia just in time for the BH Lightspeed tokens to come out, which would give me Fennec and one other BH requirement of my choice done for Jabba. I haven't looked at your account yet, but Kursatan would be a good option for that, or Aura Singh would be a good option for that. I don't know if Aura Singh is 7-star, whatever, just because they're Cantina farms. And anytime you can skip a Cantina farm and not waste signal data is really solid. I don't really need Jabba to fix my mods, as I already have decent ones, and Leia would be a really good tool for helping me stay high in GAC. I think this might be the best play. Okay. I talked to you a little bit about this, obviously. I don't hate your idea of going for Leia first and using the Lightspeed tokens as a way to do things. I think it kind of makes sense in a strange way. But before we do that, this is your first GL. You have 7-star or R7 Duel of the Fates. You have most of the assault battles. So oddly, I want to say that you're about 5 million right now. and we are at 4 million. And anytime I guess a higher GP and it's lower GP, that's actually a good thing because it's saying, hey, you're clearly pretty efficient comparative to other people. Any new update on your wife chewing on her tongue? I think that's crazy. How does that not hurt? Man, I don't know. I honestly have no idea. And she was annoyed that not enough people agreed with her that they chewed on their tongues as well. Let's check out the Themoltenflame's account. We have Executor. We have no GLs. We only have Executor. Okay. Let's go to our tools. Jabba, we're pretty far right. Jedi Knight Luke, we have Jedi Knight Luke. Leia. All right. We've got Leia going on, and hopefully you're slow farming Bosch because that'll help you for Jabba as well. Okay. You have Wicket, Chief Chirpa that need to get done. Bo-Katan. Okay, interesting. Profundity. All right. I think that the answer. No, I don't think aggressive chewing. I think it's kind of like when people go like this with their nails, like a little bit. I don't think like aggressive chewing. I don't know. I have no idea. So I think that your problem, Molten Flame, actually has nothing to do with your account. And I don't actually think it's even a problem. I think that for you, we're talking more about how to handle the farms. So basically, you want to do Leia before Jabba because of the Lightspeed tokens coming up, and you think it'll be faster, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And then you want to slot BKM into that, and then you would essentially go for Jabba after that, right? Makes sense. Your issue isn't really your farming plan, because what I would do is I would do Leia, I would do BKM for your guild, I would do Jabba, which, look, I know you saying that you don't need the mods, but as you unlock things quicker and quicker, you're going to find that it's harder and harder to keep up on your modding, and it just makes sense to do. And it's just a really, really smart farm for anyone at any level of the game. So I really think that it should be Leia, BKM, Jabba, and then go for SK, right? Then go for Starkiller. Now, my point of opinion here has nothing to do with that plan, because then I would say go for Profundity after that, right? Because it always makes sense to have more GL ships. Yours is more about the hierarchy of farming, and I've talked about this a lot on my streams, on my brunch streams, where you have your primary farm, which is what you're relicking, your secondary farm, which is what you're gearing, and then your tertiary farm, which is what you're shard farming. And that's kind of where you need to be right now. Now, right now, it seems like your primary farm, which would be Leia, needs a little of all three of those things. Right, so you need to do a little bit of shard farming for certain things, depending on which ones you're doing Lightspeed tokens for. You also have gearing that needs to be done for a couple of these characters. So your primary farm is going to be focusing on getting this to where you're just relicking. But while you're doing that, because Bo-Katan's going to be your next farm, slow farm whichever ones. So you have 3 farms here, right? If you can do 5 battles a day on all 3 of this, by the time you get, that's exactly how it is for you, user. By the time you get to your BKM farm, you won't have to worry about shard farming anything here. And I think there are some like Mandalorian Lightspeed tokens or something going on, but I don't have them exactly memorized. Right? And so you start working on the shard farming here. And as you start shoring up your Leia farm, and as the shard farming here finishes up, that's when you go into Jabba and you say, okay, which characters do I need to shard farm now? Right? And you start shard farming those guys. Now, Aura Singh, you already have 7 stars. Okay, so no, you don't even have her unlocked. So you have to decide between Kursatan and Aura Singh. That's fine. But it doesn't matter which one. Kursatan I'd pick just because it's a better character. as your Cantina farm that you're kind of getting rid of. But as you're finishing up those Mandalorians, you're starting to slow farm whichever characters here need to be slow farmed. And while you're working on the gearing for the Mandalorian characters, you're working on the shard farming for Jabba. So you're constantly shifting to make sure that you have 3, 4, or even 5 things being shard farmed slowly as slow farms, right? That is the best way to do things. Okay, so Mandalorian ones are towards the end, which means that you probably are going to finish BKM before that happens. But you can kind of pace that out and price that out on your own. That's kind of hard for me to be able to do without like a significant amount of time. But you can also tell your guild, hey, I'll have, if your guild is like, hey, I'm okay with having BKM in April, then what you do is you shard farm 2 of them, right? And you keep the third one, and then you wait for April, right? That's one way that you can do things there. But it's really about structuring your farm more than it is about what you are specifically farming. I hope that helps. And it's something really tough to kind of talk about in a video like this when you have to break things down. But, you slip into my DMs constantly. And if you need more help with kind of structuring that, I can help you with structuring that better. But it's more a structuring issue, less a which farm is happening issue. DRX, man, thank you. That's all I can say. I'm trying to... More people have been signing up as YouTube members, so I have to really redo that in a way that makes sense to also commiserate with my Buy Me a Beer membership program as well, which I know, Storm, if you're there, I have to kind of figure that out for you as well, and I'll do that over the next week so that it also makes sense. Yeah, I always, when I was farming things, I was always rotating through and making sure I had a couple of shard farms. And if I was 4 farms ahead, I would only do 1 or 2. But if I was like 1 shard ahead, I'd do like 4 or 5 to make sure that I never had to worry about shard farming. That was always my thing. Never worry about the shard farming. Try to get to a point where I always have that as a background process. All right, we got to move on. We got Chemystical on here. Everybody slips into my DMs, A lot of people slip into my DMs. They slide right into those DMs, and I try to talk to everybody, but it's hard. It's very tough because, a lot of people want to talk to me. 149, perfect. Let's do this. Chemystical. Usually get first, mostly Executor Profundity. I can use Decline, maybe 3 or 4 Leviathans. No communication with others, apart from one time with the guy who gets his payout immediately before me. Assault battles. Looks like they are mostly caught up. Malik for Place of Power. Malik does definitely help with Places of Power if you're not doing it the SRKR way. Military Might, Ground War... Secrets and Shadows, CT2. R7 Old Daka can't quite do it. Yes, she can. I am telling you that R7 Old Daka can do Secrets and Shadows. I have seen CT3 of Secrets and Shadows done with a Relic 5 Old Daka and G12 everybody else. As long as you're talking about having Marin in that team. You have to remod so that Daka is like Health Arrow, a 6E health arrow, 6E health, everything else. And then there's a little bit of luck involved. But it's not the worst thing in the world. Got the Tuscan LSB, Fanatical Devotion, Duel of the Fates. This is our first R9 Duel of the Fates for the day, so I'm super proud of that. Peridia Patrol, 7-star, no relics yet. Just unlocked my first GL, so... Unless you unlocked your first GL late, this is seemingly an earlier account or, a really efficient account. Oh, somebody woke up from my stream today, Beta Mage. Look at that. Um, It's all like, your streams are too early in the morning. Just unlocked my first GL. Apart from that, slow farming hard node ships while waiting for news about economy changes. Now that that's been released, I'm thinking of an order, but not set in stone. Peridia Pals, Great Mothers in Morgan, Bo-Katan Mandalore, Inquisitors with the Lightspeed tokens January next year, GL Leia with the Lightspeed tokens in March of next year, Malik Balin, Queen Amidala Bane, Treya Profundity might need to be added into the mix too. What I'm telling you and what I am going to tell you is that sometimes it's not great to go more than like 6 months out when it comes to your farms, because things in the game change and you want to be willing and open to shift your priorities. I think that there are a lot of people have this like start a farm, finishing a farm thing. Let's talk about that for a second. Start a farm, finish a farm is the stupidest goddamn advice that you could give somebody. It is dumb. I hate it. I hate people who think like that. If you are a start a farm, finish a farm, always kind of person, you're wrong. I hate you. Not really, but I still hate you. You have to be willing to pivot. You have to be willing when some new information comes out to say, wait a second, this farm does not make sense anymore. Let me change to another farm, okay? Now, if you are like 100 carbonate circuit boards away and finishing your farm is a week-long thing, sure, finish it. But if you're 4 months out from Hondo and new information tells you something else makes more sense, do that. Do that. Like, come on. It's situational spatial awareness. This has been your PSA for the day, right? How highly do you value efficiency? Almost entirely efficiency. Nothing more fun than a highly efficient counter. Also, more resources can get more teams over time. Are there any favorite characters you want to prioritize? GL Grogu, it's coming eventually. Don't at me. Would be willing to slow farm requirements for that. I'm thinking GL Thrawn, man. I am thinking GL Thrawn. And if there are any CG's people in my chat, if there are people lurking who don't want to name themselves, who are like, we have to see what Egnards is thinking, give me Eli Vanto. Eli Vanto is like one of my most wanted characters right now. Thrawn deserves his right-hand man. Give me Eli Vanto, please. Shards for important PG characters. Queen Amidala 210, Bane 190, DTMG 180. Closest is Cat 260. I think I am just missing Malgus and Ben Solo. Who? Eli Vanto is Thrawn's right-hand man in the new Thrawn trilogy, and he is amazing. It is spatial awareness. What? It's a what's his name? Fuck, I forgot his name. Jet Li, Bruce Lee. It is a Bruce Lee philosophy. Be like water, right? Be like water. I'm gonna say this is a weird account because on one hand I want to say it's like 8 million. On the other hand, I want to say it's like 3 million. So I'm gonna say it's about like 4.5 million, right? Is it a handbag on her desk? Let's see. What is on her desk? That is oh, that is her bag. That is her bag. I can't believe how many people don't know who Eli Vanto is. Timothy Zane's new Thrawn trilogy that came out after Disney took over, and they were like, no, his old canon doesn't make sense, Timothy Zahn, so you need to write a new trilogy. It's his right-hand man for the trilogy, and he is just this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful character. All right. Be like water, my friend. There you go. There's the quote. So I'm saying 4.5 million, right? So let's pop this over to Chemystical. 6 million. All right. Again, I said somewhere between like 3 and 8, which is a huge differential. But it's crazy because the assault battles are very short up. But then not having a GL is also like almost clinically insane to me. We have Jabba. Okay. Whose philosophy in game is farm your fleets? That would be mine. Never, 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 never ignore fleets. Oh, I hate fleets, but never ignore fleets. We have Executor. Let's see. We have Duel of the Fates R9, which is beautiful. Everything else looks good. Let's check out these farms, our gear tracker. Seems like it is a free to play or very light spending account. I don't see any hints of a lot of the Lightspeed bundles that have come out. Roster reviews. Egnards is having a break and taking a shit. Okay. What are you currently working on? Unlocked, Jabba, so getting his ult. Apart from that, slow farming hard node ships while waiting for news about the economy changes. Okay, so those came out. Now I'm thinking of an order. Peridia Pals, Great Mothers, Morgan, Bo-Katan Mandalore, Inquisitors. Almost entirely efficiency. Okay. If we're talking about efficiency, I don't think Great Mothers is the way to go. I know other people are saying get them early. I think it's dumb advice. They are a good team. I love the team. I love teams that play weird. But especially at 5 million, they do not do anything for you. Now, I will say, I think at 5 million, Peridia Pals does not necessarily have to go high. They're a great farm, and the sooner you do them, the better. But I think at 5 million, they don't necessarily have to be done. You are already isolating them as something you want to do. So I would say continue that. Continue the Peridia Pals. I would get them to like R5 if you're doing them. I don't think they have to go to R9 just yet. I think again that you are in a position where it's always you're in that position that I constantly am talking about. And that is where we talk about, like, you have Jabba. So JML, Profundity, and Leia become very, very beneficial farms to that account. Profundity is something that you won't have to shard farm because you can just let that go since your Executor is already done. Leia has an economy event. It's not a great economy event, but she has an economy event and is a very strong all-around team for all levels and all areas of gameplay. Jedi Master Luke is just insane when it comes to Conquest, which is really helpful for pushing the needle and expanding as a younger player or a younger account. And all of these farms have some degree of overlap, which allow you to, it seems like 3,400 circuit boards right now, right? And you're like, oh man, that's a lot. But once you start talking about like the things that overlap between them, that number does come down a little bit. When it comes to your smaller farms, if you want to, like, you're like, hey, I don't want to do a GL after GL after GL after GL. If your goal is, hey, I want to do a GL and then I want to do something smaller. I want to do a GL, then I want to do something smaller. I would say right now, do a GL. Let's see. Your 1,200, your 13. Oh, these are pretty close. Actually, do JML now. Do JML now. Then do Bo-Katan. By the time that is done, all of the Rebel Lightspeed bundles or Lightspeed tokens that are free will have come out. You can use those on Leia things. Then you do Leia. Then you do Inquisitors. Then you come back for Profundity. Right? I think that is the way that makes the most sense for you. Malik, you can slot in there fine. I don't think Great Mothers should be slotted in there. I don't agree that they're a mid-level team. You do not need them. They are a fun team, but they are an expensive team because you cut off your signal data. You cut off that signal data significantly in order to do them. And I don't think it is beneficial for someone at your level. Peridia Pals, if that's something you've isolated, I do think they are an efficiency player. Finish that efficiency play. You know, we're not, let's say there's a GL Grogu coming up. We don't know, right? But if we're talking about a year timeline, which is what has seemed to have been happening, we're not seeing that for another 6 to 8 months anyway. So you have time to do a lot of this stuff. But I think being in that square of influence with JML, Jabba, Profundity, and Leviathan, it's just, or not Leviathan, Leia, it's just something that it should never be ignored by players to finish that up in a smart way. All right. Rebel, I personally think that the Lightspeed token, you know, if we were to talk about where that Lightspeed token should go, and if JML is being done now, Mon Mothma will already be done. I don't even care about the Kyra techs, you know, for me, and actually they're all sharded, which is nice. It's all about gearing. And I wouldn't wait on Mon Mothma. I wouldn't wait on JML personally right now. So Mon Mothma is not going to be the one that you probably end up doing with that. It might be Princess Nessa, just because she's a newer farm and Drogon already looks to be G12 anyway. All right. We have at least one more that I was planning to. We got through a lot of them today. We have at least one more that we were planning to do today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, 6 today. We haven't done 6 in a while. Shit. We got my favorite, my best friend coming up, Azurite Bird, who, listen, I do love you and I do appreciate that we can fight over things. I know we have very differing opinions on Relic Delta. I respect all opinions as long as they're informed opinions. And you know that my biggest fight in this is the whole Arnold thing. But that's not why you're here today. You're here talking about reviews, right? And that's what we're focused on today. So we can get heated, right? I can get heated with my friends and then give them a nice hug and a butt squeeze, which sounds like sexual harassment now that I think about it. But there was context on Discord yesterday that you weren't there for. So just assume that it isn't intended to be taken that way. 204. Let's see. What do the top 20 of your fleet arena look like? Some Profundity, some Leviathan, and some Executors. I always get first thanks to R1. I am a little bit mad about R1. You guys know. You guys know my feelings on R1. I feel like it was a little bit lazy, and it annoyed me that I spent 25,000 crystals to get it to 7 stars, and you don't even need to call it out in order for it to do its thing. So that kind of annoys me a little bit, but I am happy that it has made people's fleet climbs easier. Assault battles, anything that makes things easier for people, I do get that. I just wish that I did not spend 25,000 crystals on it. Assault battles are mostly in order. Places of Power is interesting because usually that one can be done fairly easy, at least a CT2. CT3, Duel of the Fates. Oh, this one kills me. You know that this one kills me, Azurite. Like, I've been on this train for, I don't even give a shit. It actually kills me that Peridia Patrol is R7 and Duel of the Fates is just 7 star. Like, that to me is peak fucking with me. That's just, it's so silly to have Peridia Patrol at R7 and Duel of the Fates not. But I'm assuming you are an Ahsoka stan and you probably have Ahsoka unlocked, and that's probably why. What are you currently working on? Beck and Jocasta to R8 for the raid. Who gives a shit about Quad May? We're talking about resource acquisition. I don't care about Quad May. We are talking, because Duel of the Fates, even without refreshes, even without refreshes, the Duel of the Fates thing is like a year. And it's only a year, and a year is very, very small amount of time. It's 13 months, I believe, or maybe a little bit, maybe like 14 or 15 months without any refreshes. So it's like such an important thing. DRX, you should get it automatically. YouTube applies them automatically, but you probably have to link your Discord to YouTube. So you have to go to the member section and you have to like allow YouTube to see Discord. You have to link the two together so that YouTube knows who to give that role to. What are you currently working on? Back in Jocasta to R8 for Raid. Ray afterwards, doing Revan in the background. Not really. I need that team for Guild, though. How highly do you value efficiency versus fun farms? Honestly, depends on my mood at any given time. Are there any favorite characters? No. Shards for Proving Grounds. And also, Amidala, Queenie is at 290. Your Queenie is so... You'll get her so soon. You'll have Queen Amidala within 2 months. Phil thinking Duel of the Fates is a good thing is actually a detraction because his takes are normally bad. Amidala you'll have in 2 cycles. Within a month, really, right? Because we're at the end of this cycle now. So it's actually a very quick thing for you because you're at 290, you'll be at 310. And are there Queen Amidala shards in the community thing? Let's see. Community event, Gallery Heroes. No Queen event. No Queen stuff there. Okay. All right, let's see. No Revan is interesting. Back in Jocasta for R8. Most of these are shored up. Don't have Ray, getting it soon. Don't have Ben, but getting Ray. This is weird. I know I've reviewed your account before. I'm going to say somewhere around like 7 million. That seems about right to me. Okay, 8 million. That's not bad, and I'm not off by very much at all. Okay, let's check this out. Yes, so you do have Ahsoka. You've brought Ahsoka in. Oh, that was Maz's? Okay, hold on. Here it is. Still no Queen shards, but that's fine. I was just out of curiosity. Phil trigger warnings. Anytime we talk about Phil. I want to see your Sith. I will tell you right now that the first time that I did Places of Power at CT2 was with no relics. It was Papa Palp lead, Nihilus, Darth Sidious, Darth Vader, and Count Dooku. You can do CT2 of Places of Power with, let's say, Papa Palp lead, Traya, Nihilus, Vader, and probably Savage. And the whole goal is you eat somebody with Nihilus in every round. So you eat somebody in the first round, and then you go through the rest of the round slowly so that he can eat the leader at the beginning of the next round. Nope, don't need Malik for CT2. CT3, yes. But the whole goal is that by the end of each level, you eat the leader of the next level immediately. And I will say, when I was doing it, because back then there was no sim, I had about an 80% win rate. But most of them were 3 stars. So you definitely can do Places of Power at CT2 with where you are at literally right now. Inquisitors. Okay, Inquisitors are not done. Let's see. Your raid history. You're doing about 1.5 million. Your guild. Okay, so your guild wants you to do the Keller and Beck team. Beck Jocasta is not bad. Like, I like them for the raid. So keep doing that. Jabba, JML, Ahsoka, you're doing Rey. So you're Rey afterwards, doing Revan in the background. DRX, I will look, remind me after, because here's the, let me do this review and then I will do that just so that I don't get confused. So let me just figure this out first, okay? And then I will take a look for you. Oh, you have Profundity and you have Executor, so nice. You're pretty caught up there. I can imagine. I can very much imagine that. Let's see. What am I looking for? No Fury class. Because Malgus is 254 still, so Fury class. So you got a little bit of time there. You know, it'd be great to work on right now while you're Zeta starved is your Duel of the Fate Boys. Working on your Duel of the Fate Boys would be very useful to you, and would help you with that slowdown there. I imagine you probably don't have them Zeta, so you'd still have to Zeta them, but it would provide a lot of background ROI for yourself. Ray, you're very close to Ray. You're very close to Ben. Grand Inquisitor. We have Jabba. We have Profundity. Cal Kestis. And you're going to be getting a lot of Zetas with these quests coming out, which is nice. A lot of free Zetas there. Bo-Katan, Leia. Where is Leia here? You're going to be getting some Rebel Lightspeed tokens to kind of help out with this, right? Which is also nice. Jar Jar, Ahsoka, Balin, Jedi Master Mace, Hondo, Naka. Okay. And your plan is back in Jocasta at R8, Ray afterwards, doing Revan in the background. Okay, let's check out our Revans. Old Republic. What are your Fury class shards at? I see your Malgus shards. So we're working on this. We have Ahsoka for her lovely new event. Whilst you're waiting on 218 for Fury. So let's say 218, 330. Where's my handy dandy calculator? 330 minus 218, so divided by 20. So about 6 months for those two things. Okay, that's not that bad. My thought process here is you're doing Beck and Jocasta R8 for the raid. Ray is very close and Ben is very close, so obviously it makes sense to finish those. I really strongly feel that in this interim, Duel of the Fates, look, I know you and I argue over relic materials often. I really strongly feel it should be at R9, but meet me in the middle and bring them to R7 at the very least. It will help you. I promise you it will help you. While you do that, doing Revans in the background, I have an interesting idea here. I would see Beck, Jocasta, Duel of the Fates, and Ray being done by January. And at that point, you're going to start getting like Rebel Lightspeed tokens. And I think, fine, meet me, yeah, the middle is R8. Well, the middle of R8 or R9 and being just 7 stars would actually technically be R5, but I'm trying to push it up to R7. I think it would make sense for you, if we think about this smart, is after Beck, Jocasta, and Ray, and with you doing Revan in the background, which is a good idea, focusing primarily on Leia and Leviathan. You'll get the Lightspeed tokens for Leia. And I think those come out around February, March, so you have a little bit of time. But you can prioritize who you're going to use those on and focus on the other characters. While also working on Leviathan. You need 6 months for Leviathan right now. November, which is happening right like now. December, January, February, March. By April, you have Leviathan. The nice thing about that is you'll get a great Sith Empire team, and you don't have to upgrade them. You can choose not to upgrade them and not to upgrade their Zetas, which I don't think is a smart idea, right? But you can choose not to while still getting a new fleet in the mix. So that is kind of what I'm actually thinking, is do the plan as you're planned right now, but please throw Duel of the Fates at least to R7 in there somewhere. Please. I'm telling you, please. Please, please do it. But then Leia Leviathan, because there will be the tokens that'll help you with that. And because you're already doing well with your fleets, you won't have to 7-star it right away. You know? Now I know, yes, I know that, like, here's the deal. Like, you can do little projects in there. I know that you are concerned more than most people that in these reviews about Relic Delta. I'm aware that you're concerned about Relic Delta. You know, when it comes down to it, I think you were talking about like these guys, right? With your Sith, I would probably bring Traya and Nihilus up at least to R3. My Traya for the first time ever, who's R5, lost to a Queen Amidala. First time ever. It blew my mind. I managed to take out one character, so that was nice. So I brought her to R6. Well, again, like I said at least Traya and Nihilus. You know, my belief when it comes to Relic Delta is we have to look at the long term and the short term. And my short term opinion is it's okay to lose a little bit more in the short term. You'll make it up on the back end. See what farms are causing you trouble. Then upgrade those farms. That is how I approach my GAC. If my team that shouldn't be losing is losing, I take them all up like one relic level. And I go, all right, this is going to help me. And maybe I don't have to change very much. The team that you've isolated with like Traya, they do very well even at a high relic differential with Relic Delta. That doesn't mean they're going to win every time. I think that Traya being the leader, you need the leader to survive, because otherwise you lose the unique, and you really don't want to lose the unique. And you need Nihilus to survive, because Nihilus is the one that does all the damage. You might need Savage to survive, but I don't think that that's a short-term problem for you. And it's something that you can work on the other stuff and see if that has to change. I know it's tough. G13 gear is tough. And I know, you know, if Meathead is listening right now, if he happens to be on this chat right now, if he happens to be in the stream and he happens to be, you know, listening to Brunch, I understand that in the mid game, there are a lot of people that are going to be struggling with G13 gear, especially with the shift of MK2. That, you know, maybe is something to look at, is as we shift into an era legacy thing and understanding the desires to upgrade two things, that there may be a higher strain on MK2 for some players, and maybe possibly considering maybe helping those players out a little bit in some way. Of course, Lance, you know, the only problem with upgrading mods is that there is a lot of randomness to it, right? I can go weeks without getting a good mod, and then I can get 5 great mods in 3 days. release the JMK Lightspeed bundle. If he happens to be here, or if another person from CG happens to join my streams, because I know that they sometimes they join Scribe streams. I know that they join Calvin streams. So I know I stream at a weird time, but maybe they join my streams. I don't think there's such thing as having fine mods. Mods can always be upgraded, but yes, I do believe that the best approach for someone in the mid game is to be reactive when it comes to your upgrades. That's rude, Mary J. I believe that being reactive is the best way right now, because then you're not wasting materials on things that maybe you don't need. Right, but I do think, look, your plan right now, Profundity, Leviathan, Executor, or not Profundity, but Beck Jocasta, because your guild wants you to do it, Ray and the Revens. Cool. Do it. That's completely fine. But I think Leia and Leviathan would be your next major farms and would be really smart for you. Mary J, I think that you and I were on very good terms, and I'm only upset by that because you come in often and we have very lovely chats. I don't feel the need to defend my following. I'm very happy with where I am in the meta of content creators right now. I went from being a Reddit text person to being someone who was willing to put my face on camera and invest a lot of money into a setup that allowed me to do something like this. And my growth has been exactly where I think it should be, and I can't be huge right away. But I'm very happy with that growth. And I do have a communication stream with people at CG. And I think that there are a lot of people at my level and even higher than my level that don't have that. So, that's all I have to say on that in particular. But Azurite, that's the plan that I think is where you need to be. Again, I think you need to be smart and a little bit reactive when it comes into you need to be reactive when it comes to Relic Delta. I think it'll help you a lot more instead of just jumping on different relic levels that maybe will help you, maybe won't. You might lose a little bit in the short term. I expect to lose a little bit more in the short term. But I think in the long term, it's a smarter play on the account. Oh, my goodness. Ooh, man. 6 reviews in a day. It is so many reviews. Goodness. Okay. Well, I think it is time for me to come up with an excuse as to why we don't do Egdraws today. I want to do Egdraws, but apparently that's what we're expecting. Trader Tots. I like the name. So we have Egdraws today. We have to play the Egdraws song, obviously. And I already have a subject matter for this Egdraws. And it's going to be a very tough one. I don't know how I'm going to pull this one off. But we're going to try. We're going to see if we can do it. So we are going to write down the timestamp here for Egdraws, right? Which is 2:25. My content is mainly efficiency, not GAC, but you can have a following and do both. Either way, it is time for Egdraws. So we are going to pop in.
He sought inspiration from mankind's truest arts. Armed with trusty MS Paint combined the greatest parts. He traveled all the world, went to Japan, France, and Spain. So when the light hits lights up his screen. We're asking once again, is it a masterpiece that's coming? Is it truly art refined? Or is it just the digital equivalent of shit we find? Oh, Egnards draws, Egnards draws. He'll work tirelessly and diligent throughout all of the day. Oh, Egnards draws, Egnards draws, Egnards draws, Egnards draws. Is that Vader on the screen or just a melted tray? Egnards draws.
That is my favorite. To answer a couple of things before we get into Egnards draws, will I see some new game mode guides? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It depends. You know, I work 2 jobs and I do this for fun, and I do this at 5 in the morning. And when I do like my last video, which was about the new update, I did that at 4. I had to wake up at 4:30 in the morning to do that. I think Bit Dynasty really corners the market on guides really well. And if I don't have something to add to the discussion, I really try not to just put my name out there just to make a couple dollars on ad revenue, right? I want to make sure that everything that I do fundamentally is an important message and is my message, not just rehashing somebody else's message. Will those guides be out there? Maybe they will. But unfortunately, I'm not a whale. I don't have all of the new stuff. I can't spend a ton of money. And that means that generally, will other people be able to get to Coliseum stuff faster than me? Probably. How do you get a roster review? Head to our Discord, and maybe somebody on YouTube could post the link to our Discord. And then you have to type in some stuff and be like, hey, here, answer these things. And then you get added to the queue, which was very long before today, but is now much shorter because we got through 6 different people. So well, you know, Mary J, that's why I said if I feel like I have something to add to the discussion, if I do feel like I have something to add to the discussion, if I feel like I can do something smarter for the lower level, I do that. If I don't feel like I can add to the discussion, it's not worth my time to do it, and it's not worth other people having to watch it. Now, today's picture is a little bit different. We have another content creator in the room right now. His name is Keblock. I really like him. I really enjoy him. One of my last Tales Off the Holotables episodes was with him. He's a great guy, and you know, unfortunately, when he does stream, he generally is streaming during a time of the day that I can't watch. It's usually around like 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. and I'm traveling between jobs. But when I'm cleaning at the dojo and he is on, I like to turn it on and just like listen, because he's a very genuine guy. And if you did not listen to that episode of Tales Off the Holotables, it is one of my favorite ones because it is one of the most real ones. We talk about the game, we talk about low-end levels of the game, but we also talk about, you know, really major topics like depression and anxiety and getting through that as a content creator and being able to function in a society that doesn't necessarily allow that to happen. So it was one of my favorite discussions. He has a dog that I love very much, Terrence, who is always in the backgrounds of his streams, and anytime I save up points, I redeem them for giving Terrence a treat. And it was requested 2 weeks ago, and then last week we didn't do it. We're going to try to attempt to draw Darth Terrence. So we're going to draw his dog, but as a Sith Lord, I guess. We're going to try. We're going to see. But just to show you Terrence first so that you understand what we are going to be trying for here. I have him right here. This up, it's not show because .gg. This is Terrence. In the snow. He is a good old boy. We're going to try to draw Darth Terrence and see if we can. We're going to see if we can make this happen. And I think it's going to be really tough because I can't draw animals. I think I could do it maybe pencil. I think I could definitely do this in pencil, but drawing it in paint is going to be terrible. Is there an Egdraws room on Discord? There isn't yet, but there should be, right? So let's... Oh, God. I think we're going to try and do an outline. I don't normally do an outline. We're going to go... Oh, boy. Oh, man. I'm gonna make this just slightly bigger. And no, that's way too big. Okay, I think a 2 is good. Oh, we're gonna zoom in on this. I can't even zoom in. Oh, I can. Okay, perfect. Let's see if we can do this. So he's got these like funny little ears. And then we have the top of his head. And he's got a funny little ear here. And give the dog Sith eyes. And he's actually got a very rounded face. His face is pretty easy to do, I think. This nose is going to be tough. Dog, because I doing depth on. No, I think it's more. I think I'm drawing a uterus now. I don't know. Um, shit. Okay, so his mouth, he's got one of those like adorable flabby mouths. It's kind of pink. Like that. And he's got his big old puppy snout somewhere about here. But sadly, it's going to make him look like a pig, unfortunately, because I can't draw. No, that's too pink. That's too pig-like. I think it's more of a muted pink, maybe. Like that. And then see, I can't really draw the depth. I'm gonna make this less floppy and pop that in here. No, I want to redo that. I'm gonna make this less floppy here. Hmm. I think I have to do this with shading because he's kind of white. So I'm gonna fix the nose, or I'm gonna try to fix the nose in a minute. But we're gonna give him his eyes first. He's got like this kind of like line down his eye. And he has like gray eyes. Or like the whites of his eyes are like grayish. But we're making him a Sith Lord. So I am thinking. I'm thinking darker red, right? Darker red, maybe darker red. Um, let's see. We need to take this white. I don't know how to shade things. He looks like a fucking Angry Bird pig. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Terrence. Terrence, you know that I love you. And I just feel like I'm not doing you any justice at all. Like a sites. I don't know how to. I don't know what I'm doing. this isn't a bomb. I feel so bad for Terrence because Terrence is such a good boy, and I am kind of destroying him right now. No, it's a regular pink here. But then it's kind of like a darkish pink in there. He's a muscular boy, though. And then we kind of do, like when dogs sit all weird like this. And then we have our feet like that. And kind of going down here. He's a little off. He's got a blue collar, but again, because he's a Sith Lord, I do think that we need to give him a red collar. And we'll give him his like little good boy chain here so we can see that. Azurite, again, I appreciate it. I know some people, the beer site doesn't work for everybody, especially international users who don't use credit cards, as I'm finding out. Unfortunately, it's also the best site in terms of getting revenue to creators, as opposed to the sites themselves. He doesn't have this on his collar, but I'm gonna give him these little triangle things. I'm gonna give him like little spikes, I think. Wait, why are they upside down? I want like. Okay, well that's not working. I think we're gonna give him these little spikes because he's a badass Sith. And I don't know, I just feel like if you're a dog and you're a badass Sith dog, you probably. Can I make this less? You probably have like evil spikes on your collar. So we're going to give him his little evil spikes on his collar. And we're going to make those black. I actually kind of like, as annoying as that pink in there is, like I don't hate it in there. See how it looks zoomed out. Um, his ears. See, and look, Azurite, like you that has paid off for you, right? Because you've got the economy now, the economy event. His ears have like a brownish pink to them, almost. It's kind of light though. Maybe something like that. Okay. Airbrush. And I'm gonna maybe try to do a little bit more depth here, even though I have no idea what I'm doing with the depth. Well, I just gave him the most albino eyes. Some of that fur. We're gonna change the color a little bit, more of a gray. Use some more like gray up here. Just there. Maybe I should do that in the face a little bit more. Okay. Now I gotta like Sithify him, right? Like, so he's got the red eyes, and that's not enough. So we gotta like give him a robe of some sort, right? So we have to. Ooh, a cape is a good idea. Cape might be a better idea. Um, Cape is a very good idea instead of robe. So if we like do something wavy like that, let's see if that even works right. No, it frames to him too closely. But if I do it like here, like that, it just looks like he has a tumor on his back. Maybe we extend the frame. And here, so it would be kind of like there into here. I think this has to be smaller. We have to get slimmer here. I think that that's better. And we'll give some red in it. Let's see. Do like a dog bone. No, I don't like the dog bone. It's kind of dumb. Take this black. If we lighten up the black a little bit. Oh, dog bone lightsaber is actually a good idea. Okay, so we said we need a little bit of yellow in the eyes. You have way too much you have way too much faith in my ability to draw this. But you know what? I'm thinking red outline over this black outline. Color this black so that there's no white space, or there's a limited amount of white space because there's just too much white space here. Now, let's do. You know what? Let me pull up a picture because I need a reference here. Hmm. I want this to be black. And oh, you guys can't see what I'm drawing. Okay, hold on. Earth Terrence, and then let's. I don't really know. Like, I want to do. Oh God. Oh, because of this. Because I erased this. Okay, there's more. Ah, here it is. And if I do like a. Do this here. I know you can't see it yet. You can only see a little bit of it. I apologize. This here. One of these. Make this a little smaller. Make it darker gray. I think we almost got this. Do a little bit of a glow around the lights. No, we want it to be like deeper red around the lightsaber. Maybe a darker red towards the middle of it. Okay. This is Darth Terrence. I think this is good. I think we got this. I think we did Terrence justice. Is his food bowl a little small? Sure, right? But I think that we figured this out, and I think it is good. And I know you're going to want that picture, Keblock, so I'm going to put it on Discord. Okay, I will post it to Discord right after we finish. We do need to raid out because I do have a few chores to do today. That has been brunch for the day. The small food bowl is the reason he turned to the dark side.
Yeah,
So guys, thank you for joining me for brunch. I appreciate it as always. Oop, obviously that does not work there. I have to do it in this chat. We will raid out to Lost Womp Rat. Don't chop off my ear yet. And I will see you guys next week. Definitely at some point. We got Zeta Protocol as well next week.